Everyone, and welcome to the VGA Podcast. It's Caleb and Alex back with you again with episode 59. And Alex, today we're going to be talking about the Thunderbolts. You excited?
I am. Curious what you think on that, because, Marvel has been hit or miss lately.
Yeah, for sure. I'm curious of your take on it, too. So we'll talk about that first, and then after that, we're going to do some catch-up on Andor. We've watched the first 3 arcs that are out right now. So episodes 1 through 9, we'll give our thoughts on each arc. And then after that, we're going to be talking about The Last of Us Season 2, episodes 3 and 4. And then...
Sweet, a lot.
Yep. And then we'll play a Guess the Game, maybe talk about some Oblivion, because I know we've both been playing that a lot. So yeah, that'll be our show.
Sweet, I'm excited. We missed 1 week. We missed... last week.
Yep.
So I'm excited to start talking again. Every time we miss a week, I always get
antsy,
like excited to talk again. Yeah, like antsy, like anxious, because I've been dying to talk about this stuff for so long.
Yep, I get the same way.
Sweet. So what are we talking about first?
Let's talk about Thunderbolts. So this is the final movie in MCU Phase 5, I believe.
Interesting.
So yeah, we're going to be talking about it without spoilers first, giving it a score, and then after that, we'll give a spoiler warning before we get into it. So Alex, you want to go ahead and start us off with your thoughts on Thunderbolts?
Yeah, sure. Like I said earlier, Marvel's been hit or miss. Some good, like Guardians, some bad, like Ant-Man. They've just been inconsistent.
Yeah.
So with Thunderbolts, to be honest, I wasn't expecting much. I wouldn't even say I was excited to see it. I was excited, but not like, oh yeah, I can't wait.
I was kind of the same way. Yep.
Yeah. But I think overall I enjoyed it. I think it's better than most of Phase 5 for sure. Phase 4. I think it's towards the top of recent Marvel post Endgame. I actually, as a matter of fact, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Yep.
I thought the story was interesting. It was very personal. The acting was great. Specifically with what's her name, Florence Pugh.
Yep. She was great.
Yeah, she was great. Acting great. I thought the pacing was fine. CG looked fine. I enjoyed it, and it had a lot of emotional weight to it compared to other movies. It almost didn't feel like a Marvel movie, which I guess is interesting as good.
Yeah.
I thought the music was good. Everything about it, I really enjoyed. So I gave it an 8 out of 10. I don't think it's like the most extraordinary thing in the world.
Sure.
But I thought it was great. Yeah, 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I pretty much echo everything you are saying. I also gave it an 8. I had absolutely no expectations for this movie. I didn't even watch a full trailer of this. So I don't know if that probably helped. Like, it tempered my expectations.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was a fun movie. It was good. I did not expect it to go that deeply into like mental health themes, and it kind of surprised me in that way, but I thought it handled it really well. Like you said, it had some good acting moments. Florence Pugh was great. It also had some really heartfelt moments, which I was not expecting. I think another reason my expectations were kind of down is because this kind of feels like the next step after like the Black Widow movie, which I didn't watch for like 2 or 3 years after it came out, and I wasn't really.
I still haven't seen it.
Really? Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
I've never seen Black Widow.
You're not missing that much.
That's what I've heard.
It wasn't my favorite. So, but yeah, this was different. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I think it's setting up for some cool stuff. Good cast of characters. So yeah. 8's all around, I guess. 8 out of 8.
Yeah, 8 out of 8. It's never going away, is it? I also thought something we both didn't mention. I thought the villain was really interesting too.
Yeah.
I like how they introduced the villain. I like how it wasn't really a straightforward villain per se.
Right.
And then the way they handled the climax, so I was wondering how they're going to do that with a villain so powerful. I thought was pretty interesting. It could have been cheesy, but I thought it was done well.
I agree. It definitely could have been cheesy, and it wasn't. And also the visuals of the bad guy was really cool, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't know much about the bad guy. And I did like research afterwards, and he seems like an interesting character. I mean, he was interesting in the movie, so
yeah.
But yeah, I would say, I know most people are, or not most, but a lot of people are hesitant to go see Marvel movies now. Like I told my dad it was good. He's like, I don't know, I'm sick of Marvel. I'm like, dude, just give it a try. Like,
yeah,
just give it a try. It's, I don't know. I get why people get sick of things, but at the same time, like, just give it a try.
I also feel like it's less about getting sick of it. Like they may feel that way, but if there's a good one, I don't think they would feel it. It's just been a lot of bad ones recently that kind of makes it feel stale. Whereas that's a
good way to put it. Yeah.
It didn't feel as much of an MCU movie as some other of the other more recent ones, I think. Like, and I think that helps. But it's also, well written and a good movie, so I think that helps too.
Yeah, and like I said, it almost doesn't, like you said, feel like a traditional Marvel movie. So if you're looking for like something different in a superhero form, this is there. I know people compare it to Suicide Squad, but for me, this is better in the sense of like just the chemistry and everything.
Yeah, the chemistry also was surprising. Like these characters, most of them hadn't met or interacted. Some of them have, but like the group chemistry was pretty good. I was impressed
agree.
by that.
I think if there was a negative for me, and this isn't a spoiler, I think the weak link is probably Ghost. She doesn't really get an arc or anything.
Yeah. I read something. We'll talk about it in spoilers, but I wonder if that has something to do with it.
Okay. Yeah, we can get into spoilers.
Yeah, that's a good segue.
The more and more I talk, the more I'm going to spoil something. So,
yeah. So, spoiler alert for Thunderbolts. We recommend it if you are, wary of going to go see an MCU movie. This one would probably be the one to go to because it was good. It didn't feel like that much of an MCU movie. So, go check it out.
It sets up a new phase.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Which I am very excited for Phase 6, the way this ended.
Yes, agreed.
But yeah, spoiler. Do you have the spoiler thing up?
Yep, it is up.
Yes. So yeah, what were you gonna say about Ghost? Because I feel like her character was not developed at all. And was she in Black Widow, or what was she in? She was in something else.
She was in Ant-Man and the Wasp. She was the bad guy in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's why I forgot about it, because I forgot about that movie.
Yeah, she was a cool villain. Like her powers are really cool, but yeah, she's always been kind of underutilized as like the characterization of her, at least.
Holy crap! I totally forgot about that movie. I'm thinking about it now. That's where she's from. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, what did you read about her?
So I'm not 100% sure on this, so take it with a grain of salt. But I heard that they did some rework on the character, and they were originally going to have Taskmaster in more of the movie. And Taskmaster and Ghost were gonna like have a relationship or something, or get close or something, and then they changed it to just kill Taskmaster right away. And so I think a lot of her stuff may have been cut out. Maybe that's why it feels like she's not as fleshed out.
I can see it because everyone else felt decently fleshed out, and not her.
And most of her stuff is like, oh, she disappeared, she's gonna go do something. She probably won't be back, and then she comes back.
yeah. Well, honestly, I'm glad they cut that out because that sounds awful.
Yeah, I was.
And from what I've heard is everyone hates Taskmaster from Black Widow.
Yeah, they screwed up that character, that's for sure. So I was not sad about that.
So they pretty much said, nah, screw this.
Yeah, we're giving up on this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess they did something that pleased the fans.
Yep.
So there's a scene. So we talked about like good acting and chemistry, and Yelena's dad, what's his name again?
Red Guardian.
Red Guardian, yeah. his actual name.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a scene towards the end I thought was really well acted when she's kind of breaking down to him.
Yep, on the street.
And he's kind of comforting her. Yep. Yes, that scene stood out to me specifically.
Was a really good scene. I agree. They both did a really good job.
Yeah, like I don't know, like he felt like the heart. I thought he was going to die.
I kind of did too. I felt that same way for sure.
I was like, oh man, something's going to happen. Or like when they were fighting Sentry, or I don't know, I thought something was going to happen. And yeah. I'm glad it didn't though.
Yeah, I know, me too. Because I think you were going to say it. He weirdly is like the heart of the team. Like they didn't really start working together until he like showed up in that limo, and then just was like saying, "Oh, you're like anti-heroes," and then it seemed like they were more part of a cohesive team.
Yeah, yeah, and in his chemistry with Yelena, I thought they did. So she's the standout for me.
Yeah, she was good.
I mean, obviously she was in Hawkeye, and I know I haven't seen Black Widow. She's been in a few things.
She was probably the best part of Black Widow too, to be honest.
Okay. But like in Hawkeye and other cameos she's been in stuff, I never truly cared for her, to be quite honest.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But this movie changed it for me. Well, yeah, But even from what I've read, is she's even better in this than Black Widow.
Yeah, no, I agree for sure.
I actually think this might be controversial, but I actually think she's better. I think she's better than Black Widow. She feels more human. She feels more real. Black Widow was kind of just seemed, she didn't really get characterization until
right. I think that's it.
Avengers.
Yeah, and even then, like this is more dealing with like actual mental health issues and the fallout from like the Red Room and stuff, and that makes so much sense from how she was brought up. And then like having this dad that's like not there, it really gives a lot of depth to and shows what she's feeling, which is cool. It really does.
It feels so human. Like, what am I doing this for? We all just do this and then just end up dying, and that goes hand in hand with why I love the villain.
Yep.
Because it played right into that, and that's what makes a freaking great villain is when you could tie it into your protagonist, like his problems and emotion, right. Like it's all connected.
Yep. And
it plays into each other, and I think that's why I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so the Void was the name of the villain, I think, or Sentry, I guess.
Sentry. I guess he's like 2, right?
Right. Yeah. And at one point in the movie, he was basically like Superman, which I was not expecting going into this movie either. Like, and they made him seem really strong. He was like messing them up. I thought those.
Oh god, that was a cool scene.
Was cool. It was like Homelander instead of Superman kind of thing.
Pretty much, yeah. It looked really cool. He was intimidating, and that's why I was wondering how they were gonna like defeat him. You know, with his ragtag. Because let's be real, this New Avengers, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they all kind of have super soldier serum except for Yelena, and I guess Ghost doesn't, but she can teleport.
She has like particle stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but Yelena's really the only one that doesn't have any powers, huh?
Yep.
Oh, interesting. I didn't think about that. So they're not like. I was just wondering. I mean, even with super serum, I mean, how are you going to stop like a god, like he said?
Right. Yeah, they'll need the Void or Sentry. I guess they'll need Sentry for that.
Yeah. So the way the climax happened, I liked. But before we get there, I know we jumped to the end. So yeah, pretty much. So this whole movie is really about Yelena doing one last job for
Valentina.
Valentina, yep. And
her
she gets
name is so funny. Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. That's like such a big sounding name.
Come on. Let's call her Val. But yeah, Yelena gets one last job. She's sick of this. She honestly, she even says in the movie she's, suicidal. Like she's almost thought about like often. I mean, she doesn't say it, but
that was like the first part of the movie, the first scene where she jumped off the building. It kind of made you think that.
Yeah, and so she's one last job for Val, who she's working with. Gets sent to her I don't
Bunker.
know, her base bunker thing.
Yep.
And that's where they find kind of almost the rest of the team.
Yeah.
What's his name? John Walker.
Walker. Yep.
Ghost, Taskmaster, and then Bob.
And then
I love the name too.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, I was cracking up every joke they did with Bob.
This movie was pretty funny. I was happy with the comedy in this movie. The Bob stuff was really funny.
Who's this guy, Bob?
Stop saying Bob.
Yeah, so pretty much so it was a setup from Val. All the loose ends that she's I guess that's another thing we missed is Val's trying to get impeached.
Yep.
And she's trying to get rid of her secrets.
Yep. All of them.
And
including
that's what
these
Yelena
agents that
out.
she's used. So yep.
So they all were pretty much tasked to go there, and she traps them in there to burn them. But
she told Yelena to follow Ghost, and then Walker to follow Yelena, and then she set them all up to attack each other, basically.
Yep. And they figure it out, and then while they're fighting, Bob gets released, and then Bob's just great. I really enjoyed it. And the actor who played Bob, I was pleasantly surprised too.
Did you know that Stephen Yeun was originally going to be that role? I read that.
Really?
Because of issues with shooting something else. I forget what it was, but
interesting. I'm trying to think of this movie with him as that role.
Yeah, I bet he wishes he could be, because this seems like it's setting up for Bob to be more. So I bet he's like, oh man, I could have been in the MCU for a while. But I liked the guy who played Bob, though. He did a good job.
I did too. He played a good troubled, innocent, yet dark character.
Yep.
He played it well. He makes you care for him when he does eventually kind of go crazy.
Yeah.
But he has memory loss, so he doesn't really know any of his past at this point.
Yep.
So what did you think of? So we talked about Yelena. So they're all in that trapped in that fire burner thing. Taskmaster gets killed.
Yep. Right
and just straight up too.
Unceremoniously.
Nothing. Just boom, dead.
You
done,
see her face
with.
for 2 seconds.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
That's fine.
Wasn't she all over the promo and stuff too?
I think so, yeah. Probably because they were going to use her more and then decided to change it, I guess.
That's true. So we kind of talked about Ghost too. So what do you think of John Walker? Because last time we saw him, it was in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, right?
Yeah, I think the way they did his character in this makes total sense with how it was left in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He's he was Captain America and then he lost it. And he's dealing with the fallout of that. It shows some flashbacks or one flashback of him with his wife and how he's struggling. And I think that makes total sense for the character. And he's kind of just he's kind of a jerk. He's just saying stupid stuff to everybody, and that seems that's a defense mechanism for his mental health issues. Mm-hmm. So I think that fits in really well with the theme of this movie. And I think it did a good job of getting me to like him a little bit more, because after, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it's he's kind of a screw up, but I think I'm interested to see where he goes now.
I 100% agree. And I thought his flashbacks, or his flashback, I should say, I thought it did a good job fleshing him out, like you said. You could kind of see his why he's the way he is, and it's kind of sad seeing, he's not really present. He wasn't present in his life because he's kind of hung up what happened, and that I like that they included that scene, which they actually brought, which it makes sense because towards the end of the movie they used that oh hey, I felt something when I was near him. I don't know if you remember that. And they said they need to go save Yelena. They tied it back to that too. But anyways, it looks like
we got a comment for saying that the reason Yoon was initially cast was because the film was written and directed by the showrunner of Beef on Netflix and had Yoon in the lead role of that. So there was a connection there, but I guess they couldn't make the scheduling work.
I've heard of Beef. I've heard that's really good. I've not seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
But I've heard it's great. I have to check that out.
Yeah,
Interesting. I didn't know. I didn't know there was that connection.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, I think they did a good job with fleshing out their John Walker's character.
Yep.
Because I didn't. Well, I don't know. I liked him in Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I'm glad they kind of stuck with. Like, he is kind of an ass. I think Bob even says it.
Yeah.
Why he's so.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't try to make him like.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I was worried they're gonna like. Yeah, like exactly. I thought they were gonna like make him try to be like the lovable, I don't know, like totally redeemed, like you said, character. But no, he's still struggling. He can still be a jerk. He still has his issues. Yeah, and then we have Yelena's dad. So pretty much they escape there with Bob. They have this whole escape thing, and then Bob finds out he has his powers as he's helping them escape.
Yep.
And that's where Yelena's dad comes back into it.
Because he was driving from Valentina, and so he heard about it. Yeah, so he goes and finds them.
And again, like we mentioned, he's totally the heart of the show or the movie, right?
Yeah. And I think it's funny. He has a scene where he's talking about the name of the team, but I think it's funny how the team name came about. I thought that was a good way to name them, just having it be Yelena's like youth soccer team name or something. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, the Thunderbolts soccer team.
Yeah.
And like no one liked that name.
Yep, but it stuck for a while at least.
Yeah, for a while. But yeah, I really liked his character. I thought he was gonna die. Like I said before, it was just. I just felt like a setup for him to die.
It definitely did.
And that's where kind of Bucky comes in.
Yeah.
So Bucky's whole thing is he's like congressman or something, right?
Yep. He's a congressman now, which is an interesting role for him to play. And I think they kind of played that up in the movie of like him being the new congressman, kind of struggling to fit in there. And yeah. And so makes sense.
I will say, as much as I like Bucky, I did not care for him being congressman, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
It's not really an interesting plot line for me.
Yeah, and I kind of like that they went away from that. They like the second half of the movie, it's like, yeah, he's a congressman, but he's still a superhero.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they're going to continue to go away with that because with the post-credit scenes and stuff.
Yep.
But when he's not acting as the congressman self, and more like the Winter Soldier self, he's awesome as always.
Yeah. Did you get Terminator vibes from his entrance? I got Terminator vibes.
Oh, for sure. Easily, yes.
Him like riding up on the motorcycle with the glasses, blowing everything up. I thought that was pretty cool.
It has to be. That had to have been intentional, man.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool scene, and like that's where like the CG and like it felt more real, didn't it? Like not just pure CG.
Yeah, especially those scenes. Yep.
Yeah, and I know they were shooting like on location in this movie for a lot of scenes too. It wasn't just friggin' warehouse like
that's nice. Yeah, and green screen and stuff. Yep.
Yeah. So I could tell though, because this one definitely felt more raw, more real, especially that scene with the car explosions and flips and stuff.
Yeah, that looked cool.
Yeah, then they work together, come together because he was going to turn them in to use as witnesses,
right?
To take down Val.
And the reason they start working together is because they talk about Bob, and that's
Bob. Yeah, what's his name? Bob.
And while they're like, talking together and teaming up, Valentina has Bob and is like, she's trying to like be his mother, basically, is what it seemed like to me, but she's not very good at it. Mm-hmm. Like,
not at all.
Again, I'm gonna bring this back to Homelander. It felt like that one lady trying to control Homelander, but just not as good at it.
Season 1, yeah.
Yeah. Because she knows he needs like a mother figure, so she was trying to like support him to try and get him to do what she wants, and so she like helps him figure out his powers and stuff.
How did you feel about her?
I thought she's kind of like a co-villain in this, right? Like she kind of feels like she's doing some shady. I mean, she is doing some shady stuff. She's literally trying to get rid of all her shady stuff.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that she gets a lot done, but she kind of seems like not incompetent, but like, I don't know, like she's bumbling around and just kind of falling into things. I mean, she did set up the like superhero serum for Bob, but then she tosses him out because she thinks he's dead. And then I don't know, like she tries to get rid of these guys and they all team up. Like, I don't know. I thought it's an interesting take on like a Nick Fury type character who can't quite do it as well.
Yeah. Well, it's like when they did use the kill switch on Bob,
right?
And then they just like go downstairs.
They just leave. Yeah.
And this dude's like a god, and you're just gonna leave him there.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I agree. Or it seemed like she. It almost seemed like she came up with backup plans
on the spot.
Like after on the spot, exactly.
Yeah.
Like she didn't have backup plans planned out already.
Yep, and she's
even at the end of the movie
stumbling along, hoping things work out, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
but overall,
I think the actress did a good job. She's pretty, like, some of her scenes are pretty funny, and like she's an interesting character for sure. So.
Yeah, and I think it'll be interesting going forward now that the new Avengers controls her or whatever.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what are we missing here? So, it's with Sentry the Void. When he's the Void, I thought that visually it looked really cool too. When he started kind of actually turning evil and turning people in like shadowy people. Yeah, pretty much putting them in their nightmares.
Yep, those shadow effects looked really cool, and I read that they were based on the nuclear shadows after like a nuclear explosion, and it looks exactly like that. I kind of felt that way in the movie, and then I read that, I'm like, yes, that totally does. And the first time it happens, I don't know if you remember, but like, well, probably Red Guardian saves this little girl, and then she just disappears, and we don't know what's happening yet. So I was like, oh dang, they just killed that little girl after he saved her. Like, I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was, like I said, it was actually pretty. I mean, compared to other Marvel movies, pretty dark and emotional. Like, I was kind of like, oh dang, that poor girl.
Yeah.
I thought that's where I thought Red Guardian was gonna. Well, a few of the times where I thought Red Guardians were gonna die.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then Yelena goes in there because she goes into the Void.
Yep.
Well, we don't know at the time, but it's because she realizes she thinks she can get to Bob.
Yeah, there were a couple times where she touched Bob and went back to the flashback of like her first like mission for the Red Room or whatever, and then Walker also touched Bob and had that kind of flashback that we talked about earlier. So I think she realized that they weren't gone; it was into like a different dimension or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and those scenes with her flashbacks, her pretty much killing her friend.
Yep.
In the forest, and then it was really neat and interesting the way, like you said, visually how they did it, but also the way it deepened the character, like Yelena, like it showed her, drunk and passed out in the bathroom.
Yep. Which I think is a scene from Black Widow.
Is it? Okay.
I think so. I remember that shot from something. So.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. But yeah, then even with Bob, when she finds him and they're in the attic and they could see downstairs the dad beating the mom and
his kind of root of his issues.
Yep, and his mom saying he's making it worse. So his thing is, he makes everything worse. Just leave me here.
Yep.
Stay out of your way. And that stems from his mom saying he's making it worse when he's trying to defend his mom.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
I think they did, to me, Bob seemed kind of like bipolar maybe, because there were times where he got like, I mean, he basically called himself a god. So he was like, he had those big ups, like the megalomania and thinking you're the best. And then also like, you know, something happens and then he just crashes into a depression. And I thought they did.
Yeah, that's where kind of the void comes.
Yep. I have some family members with bipolar, and it was a good representation of it, having those really high highs and then low lows. Yep. And then obviously, you know, they pull him out of it, which, you know, they won through the power of friendship, which could have been
very cheesy.
Yes.
But I was surprised that it didn't bother me, because normally something like that, it would bother me, and it is kind of cheesy when you like sit back and think about it.
Yeah.
But in the context of the movie, and the situations and the way we started caring about the characters and how good they did Bob for us to care about him that much, it did not bother me at all.
I agree.
I was actually happy. I'm like, yes, Bob, thank you.
Yeah.
And yeah, they get out of there, and Val, of course, has a little backup plan. She came up on the whim with the people waiting to be interviewed.
I loved her. Again, she's like acting like all bumbling, like, oh, don't hurt, like, just wait 1 minute. Yeah. And then she goes behind the thing, and then she has it all planned out with her backup plan. Yeah. I thought that was a good scene. They're pretty much the new Avengers, and Yelena kind of whispers in her ear, "We control you. Like, pretty much will work for you, but you're not in charge." Yep. Which I have a feeling Val will probably try and get the upper hand again, but who knows?
Oh, probably. That's what I mean. Like, so as much as I didn't necessarily dislike Val, but she wasn't my favorite part of the movie. But I think going forward, it could be an interesting kind of tug and pull. What she does, what's the new Avengers are going to do,
and I do see again, we have a comment saying they wanted more like backstory on and motivation for Valentina, and I wonder if we'll get that. Like, I know they're probably pulling back on some of the Disney Plus shows, I think I read, but like seeing some of these missions that these guys go on for Valentina might be interesting, and like figuring out what she was doing exactly with all of them. I know they were working on Bob, basically the superhero serum, but to see more of that might be interesting.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, we got backstories on most characters, even Bob the villain.
Yep.
Bob the villain. I guess excluding Ghost. In this movie at least.
Right.
I don't remember him, man. So maybe we got backstory over there. But
I don't think it was that much. Maybe some.
I honestly, I don't remember a single thing about that second Ant-Man movie.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was bad. I just don't remember it.
I remember her powers. That's basically it. Like, I thought they were cool, but like nothing else about the character really stuck.
Yeah.
And that kind of, I mean, I'm glad we got more of it because her powers are still cool in this, but I do want to see more of the character.
Still not much. I mean, like John Walker got, you know, good characterization with his flashback, and granted, we had a previous show with him too recently, with Winter Soldier and
Falcon.
You know what I'm talking about. Falcon and Winter Soldier. There you go. But yeah, Val didn't really get she kind of was the stereotypical, you know, corporate villain.
Yeah, and she showed up so many times. I guess it was to set this up, like, because she talked to Walker and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She was in Black Panther. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like she's been popping up all over the place, and so it'd be interesting to learn more about her and what she's.
Maybe. I guess we'll find out.
Yep.
So and then we have the two post-credit scenes, the mid-credit scene, which I thought was hilarious.
Remind me what the mid-credit.
The mid-credit one was with Red Guardian, and he's on the Wheaties. He's at the grocery store.
That's right. That was pretty funny. That's me on the box. She has that lady running away.
Oh, that was great. I loved that. Yeah. Actually, I loved both post-credit scenes, and I thought the final credit scene I thought that was awesome too. It was a great post-credit scene.
Yeah, it was not. It seemed like they expanded on a lot of the universe, or on like even more so than usual on what's coming up next in that final post-credit scene.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought, and it was a pretty long post-credit scene too.
It was, and like because they had like Bucky talking about how Sam Wilson is like mad that they took the Avengers name, and he's like doing copyright or whatever.
Oh yeah, the Red Guardian with the shirts, Avengers
with the Z.
And they got Bob just sitting over there reading. Yeah.
Yep. And so Sam seems like he's setting up his own team while these guys are the quote unquote new Avengers.
Yep.
And then the part that got me really excited, the movie I was more excited for than this, which I hope is as good or better as the Fantastic Four, and seeing that ship was really cool.
Yep. Which we obviously knew they were going to get to this universe or whatever eventually. Somehow.
Yeah.
But I wonder, to me, it almost confirms that their universe gets destroyed by Galactus.
Yeah.
And otherwise, what would be the reason for them coming to this universe, this world?
Yeah. I agree. I think that pretty much confirms it. So that'll be really interesting seeing that happen.
Yeah. So, and also in this post-credit scene, was it Pucky or someone mentioned that they weren't allowed to go into like the space stuff happening? Do you know?
I know.
Do you remember?
I remember them talking about
was it referring
space.
to this? My question is, was it referring to this Fantastic Four ship, or is that a separate thing?
I think that seemed like a separate thing, but I don't know. I forget
what they were talking about, like conflict in space.
Maybe
I think
it was.
Is what,
oh, maybe it was like Captain Marvel and that, because I didn't see that. What was that news? Captain Marvel.
The Marvels.
Yeah, the Marvels. Yeah. Maybe it had something to do with that. I didn't see that though.
Or maybe it's just more set up for Doom.
Yep, true. And
but
we do have
overall
confirmation that this was the longest MCU post-credit scene. So I see that in the comments.
Was it? It felt like it. Yeah, in a good way. Yeah, because it went on for a good few minutes.
I was surprised they put all that in the post-credit scene. Like, that's a lot to miss if you walk out.
Yeah. Well, I did read, and this could be I'm pretty sure I read it from the director that this was a scene from that it was filmed on the set of Avengers Doomsday.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So that I don't even think the director for this directed that post-credit scene.
Yeah. Okay.
I did read that from the director.
They have a lot to set up, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, honestly, this is probably one of the better ways you could end a phase for a Marvel phase, considering
what came before it.
Phase 4 to me was awful, sprinkled in with a couple good movies.
Phase 4
5,
yeah. And go ahead.
So that's the thing is, I don't think Marvel's gone. I just think they're just not the consistent juggernaut they used to be.
Yeah.
It used to be consistent hit after hit after hit after hit with the one random, like Thor: The Dark World or something, one random one, but then hit. Now it's like hit, miss, hit, miss, hit.
Yeah, it almost seems to coincide with them doing all the TV shows. So I wonder, and if they are cutting back on the TV shows, maybe it'll start to get back on track more. So
I think they are.
Yeah,
they should. They should. I mean,
I agree.
Sometimes it's too much. I mean, it's kind of exciting having like the anticipation, right? If we're just getting fed all this little stuff,
yeah,
and then we get a movie, it's like, it's exciting to go to the theater again. But on the flip side, we've watched like 5 Marvel shows,
right? And then they have to do the weird thing where it's like, well, if someone didn't watch the movie, we can't put this, or like we need to like either recap it or get people caught up or not reference that.
Freaking do homework.
Yeah.
See, like I haven't even seen Black Widow, and this movie was fine for me. Like I didn't know much of the backstory of Yelena or anything.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't know why I never watched Black Widow.
It came out right around like
the 3
COVID,
movies
I think.
I never saw.
So I didn't see it till later.
Maybe that's why. Yeah, I never saw Black Panther. I actually never saw the Eternals.
Black Widow.
And I never saw. Sorry, not Black Panther. Black Widow. I never saw Black Widow, Eternals, and the new Marvel. I think it's called The Marvels.
Yeah.
Those are 3 movies I haven't seen.
I did see Eternals. I don't remember much of it. I have not seen the Marvels either. So
all I know is that big hand thing that was in Captain America was in Eternals.
It was, yes.
And then it was largely ignored for every other movie.
Yep.
This big celestial hand or whatever sticking out of the the ocean.
Yep, for years.
Yeah, it was great. Go see it. Bring on Phase 6. So that means Fantastic Four opens up Phase 6. Oh, give me some Doctor Doom, man. There better be a Doctor Doom post-credit scene.
I hope so.
Fantastic Four. Doctor Doom is my favorite villain ever.
Yeah, he'll be really cool to see in live action.
So I'll tell you this: I am so much more. Yeah, hopefully a good version.
Yeah,
I am so much more excited for a Doctor Doom Avengers movie than I would have been for a Kang.
Yeah, I agree.
After seeing Ant-Man, I don't care what people. I read people saying, "Oh, that was just one variant. He's a weaker variant. They're going to bring."
Yeah,
but you still saw him get destroyed in an Ant-Man movie.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. That was an interesting choice.
Even if he is a weak variant, how is that supposed to pump us up for an Avengers movie? Like, oh, Ant-Man beat one variant. Oh, there's going to be more variants. We still saw him get beat up. I don't care. It's just the visual of him getting beat up.
Yep.
Anyway, we don't got to worry about it. So.
Yep.
But yeah, go see it. Bring on Phase 6. I'm ready.
Yes. Fantastic Four is a good start, so I'm excited for that.
Yes. And I think after that, is the Avengers Doomsday after that?
I'm looking here. I don't know how accurate this is. It looks like Eyes of Wakanda, so another Black Panther maybe. I don't know who Wonder Man is.
Or is that a show?
It could be. There's also this Ironheart show that comes out in like a few months that I haven't heard anything about, so we'll see what happens with that.
Oh, she was the one in the which Falcon? Which she was in one of the shows.
I think so. I think she might have been in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and the character was garbage. So why are they making an Ironheart?
I don't know. I don't know Wonder Man. We've had Daredevil, so then the next big one looks like maybe Black Panther and then Avengers Doomsday.
So, but that would be a show because it's not a movie.
Yeah, it doesn't say on here, but yeah, probably not. So maybe Fantastic Four.
I haven't heard a single thing about that. Yeah, so pretty much it's if you're excluding shows, pretty much it's Fantastic Four, then Avengers Doomsday. Yep. Oh, and then Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. And then Avengers Secret Wars. Jesus Christ. All right.
We might get some new ones announced in between there, but yeah.
But theoretically, it's going to be Fantastic Four, Avengers, Spider-Man, and then Avengers. Oh, man, I'm in.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, let's move on. So let's talk about Andor Season 2. So we've watched all episodes that are out currently. So we have episodes 1 through 9 to talk about. And we will talk about it without spoilers first. We'll give our overall thoughts, give our scores just like the other one. And then we'll get into spoilers. So I'll go ahead and start first on this one. And we discussed this already. I think we're going to grade each arc. And then maybe I'll have you send me your scores and I'll like put them on the screen for each individual episode because I have mine also. Okay. But just so that we don't go listing numbers, we'll do the arcs.
Yeah, let's do the arcs. Yep.
So each 3 episode release is an arc of the show. So I'll give my scores first. And just to start, I'm going to say that, man, I'm so glad this show is back. I love this show. It feels like it's not really missed a beat to me. I love the political intrigue stuff. It has some good action and like the acting is so good. I love the show. So, I thought arc 1 was good. I enjoyed it. It had some good action and it had like each of these arcs have like little Easter eggs sprinkled in that I want to talk about, but can't do that before the spoilers. So I gave arc 1 an 8. I thought it was a really good start. It got me back into the world of Andor. I thought arc 2 was a little slower, probably not as good as arc 1 in my opinion. I still really enjoyed it. I still also gave that one an 8. And for arc 3, I feel like this whole season has been building up to arc 3. And I think I'm going to give this one, arc 3, a 10. I really enjoyed Arc 3. I thought it I don't even know how to talk about it without spoiling anything.
Yeah, I know.
There was so much build up. It felt like what this whole show has been building up to, and I feel like they nailed it. I loved it, and I was worried about it not holding up to season 1, but I feel like they're right on their way to being just as good as season 1. So,
okay,
8, 8, 10.
8, 8, 10. 8 out of 8, 8 out of 8, and 10 out of 10.
Yep, there you go. Perfect show.
So I think we're gonna have a little bit different opinion on this.
Okay.
While I enjoyed it, it took me a while to get back into it.
Okay.
I thought Arc 1 was okay. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
But I don't know. I still think it was a lower bar than season 1, and I think there's some parts of it, which I'll explain spoilers, I wasn't necessarily a fan of, but still great. 7 out of 10.
Okay. Yep.
Arc 2, I enjoyed even less. I gave that a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
I thought it was slower. I thought especially the first episode in that arc, it felt. I'm trying to think of a way to explain it without sounding like I don't like shows that aren't pure action. I love season 1, but just that second arc to me is just at some point, in my opinion, you just gotta get to the point. And I didn't like. I can't explain without spoilers.
Sure. Yeah.
So I liked it less. I think a lot of the reasons I wasn't enjoying, especially the first arc more or as much, excuse me, is it just there was so much scenes like Andor almost wasn't in some of the episodes, like the whole episode almost.
Yeah, Cassian wasn't. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cassian, sorry. Yeah. And I don't know. I was not vibing with those first 2 arcs like I thought I would.
Okay.
And I like the political intrigue too. I like the slow build and everything. I love season 1, but those 2 arcs just weren't doing it for me. I still gave it a 6 and 7 because it still is. I mean, leagues better, and it's above average show.
Sure, yeah.
It's not the dialogue, the way the acting, the way it looks, the production is still. Yeah. I mean, I can't give it below average for that. But then Arc 3 happened, and thank God it happened because it redeemed my faith in this season, and I gave that a 10 out of 10 as well.
Nice, yeah.
And I almost wonder if I go back and rewatch it in the future, if I'll enjoy those first 2 arcs more because of the build up to this.
Yeah, possibly.
But there's still the first 2 arcs to me had issues, which we'll talk in spoilers. But Arc 3, pure.
Yes.
That might be the best Star Wars in a long time.
I have that in my notes too. Arc 3 is some of my favorite Star Wars that's come out in a long time, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, gritty, pure perfection, like acting, action, build up, I loved it, and it restored my faith in the season because those first 2 arcs were not doing it for me.
Interesting,
because I love season 1. I loved season 1 so much, and those first 2 arcs, while I still enjoyed it, I don't know if it's because of my hype of season 1 or what, but I don't know. I just didn't do it for me. But Arc 3, man, woo! So a 7, 6, and a 10.
Okay. All right.
And we can't really talk much else unless we know spoilers.
Let's get into spoilers because, yes, I agree. Don't want to say anything else. So, spoiler alert for Andor Season 2, Episodes 1 through 9. I'm going to put it up on the screen here. Got to resize it. Okay. All right. Good to go. One thing I want to say is I think why I was like, I don't know, they bring up Gorman a lot, and I had just seen some scenes from Rebels where you hear about the Gorman massacre and like Mon Mothma's speech and like so every time I heard about it, I was like, oh, I want to see that so bad. So I was like, I was super interested by all those on what was going on Gorman, and a lot of the scenes dealt with like Mon Mothma, who I really enjoy getting to learn more about, and that actress is good. So like I don't know, I see where you're coming from, and I've heard similar things. Like my mom, who doesn't get real deep into Star Wars, was also like, yeah, it's not as interesting as the first season. And my stepdad's like, Caleb really likes this. I'm like, yes, I do. So, but yeah, I don't know. I still really enjoyed them. So tell me some of your issues with the first 2 arcs, and then we'll get into arc 3.
So specifically arc 1, they spent way too much time with those guys in the jungle. Way too much time. That
did go on a little bit too long. I agree with that.
Yeah, it was almost 2 episodes, or Cassian was there.
Yeah, I think it was.
And in the first episode, I had no issue with it. It was interesting, but then it was like the whole second episode, and then finally, I think it escapes in the 3rd episode or the end of the 2nd episode. I don't remember. So that was my biggest issue with arc 1. I still enjoyed it, like I said. I mean, I gave it a 7. But I just think the pacing was off with Cassian. It almost feels like Cassian was what's the word I'm looking for? Like he had his own little side adventure when some of the other stuff was like the main story.
Right. You know? It was really interesting. It was like kind of jarring going back and forth between like Cassian with these rebels who are like so disjointed in this jungle, and then it cuts back to Mon Mothma in her beautiful mansion, like getting ready for a party. And, while I liked both those scenes individually, I definitely get that like jumping back and forth, like, oh man. And
the wedding, I didn't dislike the wedding, but I didn't particularly, it's not like my favorite plotline story arc.
Yeah, I thought there were some standout scenes, especially that one conversation with Luthen and Mon, where Luthen's like, "You've got to be protected," and he's like setting up to kill her friend. And my favorite line in that arc is when she's like, "I don't understand what you mean," and he's like, "Well, isn't that nice for you?" Because it goes back to his season 1 speech where like he's taking on all this, he's getting his hands dirty to build about this thing that he'll never see. So I thought that was a good scene.
Yeah, I agree. And I will say, I know some people complained about it, but I actually liked her little dance scene in the 3rd episode. I think it was the 3rd.
Yeah, well, the music was great. I enjoyed that, and it makes sense. She's like it's a horrible situation.
That's what I mean, like the music.
Yeah.
I actually liked the music. People are complaining about the music. I'm like, guys, it's like some futuristic. They had that music in the prequels when they're walking the bars and stuff.
Right, yeah.
Like, so, and I actually liked, like, she's loosening up, enjoying the moment, like, just to take a breath. Like, I liked that. I actually did like that.
Get lost from her troubles kind of thing, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's like what anybody would need in that moment. You're at a wedding, just
shows she's human.
Dance. Yes. Yeah, and exactly.
Like, she puts on such a face, especially in any of her senatorial duties. To see her as a human is pretty rare, and I think it did a good job of that.
Yeah. So I liked that.
Let me ask you what you thought of Cyril and Daedra, because that started in this arc.
Oh, did it start in this arc?
I think so.
Remind me again. What was their scenes again?
That was so in the first arc. It's where Daedra and Cyril have dinner with his mother for the first time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I liked them in this arc. I thought they were a highlight in this arc.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. Like they're both so OCD, but in different ways. And I liked how they handled that and how she handled the mother. And then it just cuts to Cyril just like laying on the bed depressed.
Yeah. I like the arc because it it kind of, like you said, it showed the relationship, and in the long, like when you start getting to later arcs, it like these kind of scenes are what make the later scenes so deep and important.
Yeah, and brutal.
Developed.
sometimes.
Yeah. So while I was watching this, there was a little bit of me like, why am I watching them having a dinner date like with his mom? Like, what's the point of this? But then you start to realize as you're watching the arcs, like, okay, I mean, they're developing the characters, they're making you understand the relationship and how they are, and get to Act 3, you can kind of understand. So I think those little things. That's why I wonder if I rewatch these arcs, maybe I'll enjoy it more.
Mm-hmm. And I think another highlight of this arc that I liked was having Krennic back, where they were planning the Gorman massacre, basically, and having Daedra there. And I love Krennic. That actor, I really enjoy him, and his job is he does a good job as Krennic.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, like I think Arc 1, like I said, while it took me a while to get into, and I still think it's great, it had its faults for me compared to relative to season 1, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you, because all the stuff that I just talked about that I'm really excited, none of it had to do with Cassian. He was just like the TIE fighter stuff in episode 1 was cool. I liked that, seeing him fly that TIE Avenger, I think it was what it's called, was a cool scene. But then he just kind of gets shipped off to some forest, which I did.
He almost has no point in this arc except for he had a point, but it was like a side mission.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I did like the reveal that forest was Yavin. That was pretty cool, but that was like a small thing right at the end of it.
Yeah. Okay. So what about Arc 2? So I know you rated Arc 2 still an 8, but you liked it a little less.
Yeah.
What were your positives and negatives?
Let's see. Second arc. I didn't expect like Cyril to become a spy, and this arc had very like a lot of like spy kind of themes, in my opinion. Like they're doing the mini rebellion on Gorman, and like that whole part was interesting, but I definitely think it wasn't as good as some of the other stuff in Andor. Like it was definitely slower, not a whole lot of action. I think my two favorite scenes, I think the reason why I still rated this an 8 was because the last episode of this arc had two really cool scenes that I liked. Again, it was with Krennic and Mon Mothma in that like art gallery thing, like them arguing over like politics and stuff. Seeing those two meet was so cool. I loved that. And then again, in that episode, they cut away from Cassian and Bix like halfway through, and I didn't even realize that we hadn't seen them, but then it like cuts back to them right at the end, and where Bix is going to that doctor and getting her revenge and then blowing up the building. I almost thought that was a dream or something, like she was having a dream about it, and then
it was so random at the end.
Yeah, she met up with Cassian, and I was like, oh, that really happened. Dang. I thought that scene was cool, but I also agree that like again it just cuts away from Cassian for a while.
Yeah, and this arc too. So I mean, my negatives is this arc. So I liked the spy elements, like you said. I liked those scenes a lot, but like the first episode, like episode 4 in this arc, I was like Bix kind of being depressed, and she's a druggie, and I get it. It's part of the character. I just did not find it interesting, man. It was just they're kind of locked up in the safe house, and also I don't know if people like him or not, but I am not a big fan of Saw.
Yeah, the Saw stuff was kind of weird in this. I will say that was probably the weakest part of this arc for sure. For me, and I think Saw could be such an interesting character, but the way they've used him, he's not my favorite, that's for sure.
No, so I wasn't a fan of that stuff. I don't know. So it's like it's split, right? Like I liked the spy aspect of it, and those scenes you mentioned, but then you have the Saw stuff, and then you have, for me, Bix. Personally,
being addicted.
I like Bix and Cassian together, but I when Bix is alone, she's not interesting to me.
Yeah, I could see that.
If that makes sense. Like her scenes alone, I'm not really interested in, but I love the scenes with her and Cass.
Yeah, I get that.
one thing I forgot to mention in Arc 1, I did like the one thing I did like about that arc, or
I think I know what
in
you're
Arc
talking
1, is the scenes in the cornfield with
yeah,
or
like,
whatever field it is.
Yeah, that planet where they're harvesting the stuff. Yep.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job making like the
Imperial
Imperial officer dudes. Yeah, like douchebags, mean.
Yeah,
evil. Like
I love.
he was literally about to rape her.
I know,
and I'm surprised
I
they did
was
that in a show.
Not
in Star
expecting
Wars.
that in Star Wars. Yeah, the almost sexual assault thing was crazy.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. I mean, but like that's what I like about the show is it doesn't feel like their whole like that would not be in a Disney Star Wars movie.
Right,
I can tell you that.
And one thing they do with the Empire in Andor that I think really gets lost, especially when you have like Jedi and stuff, is they make every single Empire person a threat, scary. Like one stormtrooper could catch you, and then you are just like screwed. One Imperial officer decides he wants to like be a jerk, and then you're just totally screwed. I think they do that really well.
Yeah, because we're so used to seeing it like in the point of view of like a Jedi, right? Where, oh, that's nothing.
Yeah,
like,
just, they miss all their blaster bolts except for 2, and then they get stabbed. Yeah.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I love the fantasy like Jedi aspect, but when you have a show like Andor, it almost makes you appreciate the Jedi more because they're more mystical. Like it makes it almost makes you like for me, like the less you see of the Jedi, the cooler they kind of seem.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, because you see all this from like just regular people's perspectives, and then you're like, wait, there are like mystical beings who can move stuff with this force. Like that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Like, could you imagine like seeing in this kind of show? I guess you kind of like that kind of happens in Rogue One, and you see Vader towards the end.
That's true.
But anyways, I know that was back to Arc 1. But Arc 2, yeah, I don't know, man. I was enjoying it just enough, but not as much as the first season still. But yeah, we could talk about Arc 3 now. Unless you had anything else on Arc 2.
I mean, Cinta dying was sad, I guess, but like I felt bad for Vel, and that kind of changes where her character goes. But yeah, other than that, let's get to the 10 out of 10.
Yeah, this is it. This is where I was like, holy crap. Like, I'm not joking. Like those first 2 arcs, I was watching it. I was like, okay, yeah. And then this third arc hit, and the first episode, all three episodes. I was like, oh my! I was glued onto that screen. Dude.
Yep. And I feel like season 1, if you go back and rewatch it, I'll have to also because it's been a while, but it definitely has like slower parts, and then it builds up to like that heist. Like it definitely had a similar kind of trajectory where it's it just all builds up to this craziness, Yeah.
God, that heist with that on that planet with that like fireworks show meteor thing. God, that was still the coolest looking thing I've ever seen in Star Wars.
Yeah, so cool.
And then you have the prison arc after that. Yeah, you're right. I mean, the first 2 arcs or the second 2 arcs are definitely a lot more memorable than the first 2 arcs. Yeah, so maybe that's how this season's going to be.
I think so. Yeah.
But what surprised me most before we get into obviously the battle. What surprised me most is how much I actually enjoyed the episode after that too. Just as much.
It was
like
good.
equally.
Yep.
And I was wondering, I'm like, oh man, this is episode 8. Like we're ready for episode 9. But like I enjoyed it just as much.
And they're like such different episodes too. And yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, even like the lead up to the massacre was interesting. Like we saw a force healer, had some of that like mysticalness you were talking about of like, she sees that Cassian's like important.
See, those Bix and Cassian scenes I liked.
Yeah, those were good. I agree.
Unlike the second arc.
And then it kind of sets up the massacre with Dedra kind of losing some of her power over what's going on, and Cyril being like, what the heck is happening? And you hear all these things like, oh, there's like mining equipment, and so it just I felt that building. I'm like, oh man, the next one's going to be so. It was like late at night, and I had to just keep watching it. I was like, I need to see this.
I know. I was watching it late at night too, and I had to stay up too. And like, and again, like Cassian, for me, when Cassian's a part of the main storylines, I love all side characters. I love all the scheming, but it's whenever Cassian is put into the situation is when, like, and we see it from his point of view, is when I feel like the show is great.
Yeah, I agree. That's what it's
when he's in the like even the arc, when they throw him in, and like we were talking about in season 1 with the heist, he's thrown into that, or he gets thrown into whenever he gets thrown into the situation, I find the most interesting.
Yeah.
And then but that so what did you think of that battle scene?
The Massacre of Gorman. Oh man.
Yeah.
It was so well done. Like with the crowd gathering and like them setting it up by pulling the bearers back. Yeah, the chant, and then it switched to the singing, and you can see all the cameras that are just Empire, approved, and they're doing like propaganda, and it just feels so chaotic. And then you're like, how is this going to kick off? Because we know something bad is about to happen.
It's going to happen. Yeah.
Yep.
The build-up was so good, dude.
Yeah,
it was so good. Like I could feel it in the music and the acting, just the way they shot it, like they filmed it.
Yeah,
we were all waiting for it. The chance, I was just waiting for it,
edge of our seat,
and up to this, like just waiting for that freaking balloon to pop. Yep. And really, up to this point. Excuse me, I'm so excited to talk. I choked on my own spit. Up until this point, we haven't. I mean, the Empire are scheming assholes, but they haven't like taken that next step. Like they've been waiting for the opportunity to fully kind of take control.
Yep.
And finally seeing that moment. Oh, like you said, like hearing it in Rebels, but finally seeing that moment of tension. Pretty much. I mean, this is pretty much built up from all of Andor, even season 1.
Yep. It's like the culmination or what kicks off everything that's been building, like all these little rebel cells, and then like, this is the thing that like coalesces it all together. And man, so good.
And then we get to see what's his little robot?
K2SO. Yeah, we get to find how Cassian found K2SO. That was pretty cool. I love K2SO.
I do too. Doesn't Alan Tudyk voice him?
Yep, he's great.
So what did you think of there was a scene with
Cyril.
Cyril's is that how you say his name? We got Cyril. Kind of, when he goes in to see his girl, what's her face?
Dedra.
Again, a Disney movie would not show this. He's pretty much choking her out, like freaking threatening her.
That was crazy.
Like, hey, tell me what's in that. I'm like, dang, like they're letting these people cook with this show. Because my lord, I wasn't expecting that either. I really wasn't. I thought he was just going to go in there and like pout and yell. Well, homeboy felt threatening.
Yeah, he did. Like that was tense, that whole thing, because you could tell like something big is happening. He knows it. That was a crazy scene.
So, how would you explain Cyril's character? Good guy, bad guy, redemption? Does he just feel like he was being used? If he wasn't being used, would he still work for the Empire? If he would have just been in the know?
I feel like he is a follower and he followed the wrong people. Because like in season 1, he's Empire through and through. He's doing his work. He's trying to find these inconsistencies, and he goes after Cassian, and then they kind of throw him on the back burner right after he fails. And then Dedra shows up and she gives him a lifeline, and he follows her and he goes to Gorman for her. And and I feel like he almost got swayed by the rebels. I don't know if you felt that too.
I know.
I mean,
I did. Yeah.
It almost felt like there was like a love thing going on between him and that girl that they didn't fully flesh out or cut some scenes maybe. Because when he saw her that last time, it definitely felt like there was something between them. And so I agree. I think he just doesn't he just followed the wrong people. Like, he could have been good, but he chose to stick with the Empire and then stick with Dedra, who's with the Empire. And
let me tell you this, though: if the Empire were still to trust him and send him on, make him in the know, and he's higher up, he would have still been of the Empire.
Oh yeah,
right? He wouldn't have even had conflict. He wouldn't even have conflicting.
For sure.
I mean, I think you're right. I think a little bit of him saw the people, and was like, oh, I don't know. But I still feel like if the Empire trusted him and put him in charge, he would have overlooked that little bit of humanity he had.
I agree. Yep.
And the way he died was just boom.
Man. That was probably the most shocking death. Not the fact that he died, because like that I thought that could have happened in the massacre, but the way like he approaches Cassian and is like trying to be all threatening. It basically is like, you ruined my entire life. And the Cassian's like, I don't even know who you are. Like the Thanos meme kind of thing. That was brutal. Yeah, like, oh my goodness.
He's like, who are you? Like,
yeah. And then bang, dead.
And you're right. That's such like a painful line for Cyril, because that's like that's like his worst nightmare. Like, who are you? Like, you're nothing.
Yep.
Go down, like, bam, boom, pop, dead.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And you're right. The death didn't really shock me in the sense of I kind of assume a lot of these characters are going to die.
Yep.
We already know what happens with Cassian, but
right.
Also, who's the other guy? Who's the other rebel guy that he went there with? Who stayed back for the girl?
Willman. Yeah.
Yeah, Willman. I thought he was toast, man.
Yeah, me too.
I thought he was toast.
I don't know. I did not think he was getting off of Gorman.
I did not either.
I'm curious though. It makes sense though, because it seems like Saw has like swayed Willman, so I think there's more that's going to happen with him. So I guess that makes sense that he lived.
Saw was in Rogue One, right?
He was, yeah.
Okay, I don't quite remember.
He was on
Rogue
Jeddah.
One, like,
he had the pilot.
That's right.
Poor Gullet. Weird scene. The weirdest scene of Rogue One. Poor Gullet will find the truth.
That's right. I've just never been a Saw guy, man. Even in the animated show, I wasn't the biggest fan.
Yeah, it's interesting to see him in like the Clone Wars back then, and then see him now, how he's so unhinged and how he got there. But he is a little too unhinged.
Yeah. I need to watch Rogue One, but I'm going to wait till these last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go straight to Rogue One.
Yeah, that'll be cool. And then you'll go straight to episode 4.
Yeah, then I'll just rewatch all of Star Wars.
Yep.
But
how do you feel about the ending with Bix in this one? I thought that was almost more surprising than the Cyril thing.
Oh, it's surprising, but I knew something had to happen.
Yeah,
considering like Rogue One.
Yep, I thought she was gonna die, but the way she left was interesting.
Yeah, she said, "I'll find you." I'm like, "Good luck with that."
Good luck. Aw. I know. I thought the same thing.
But I actually, again, I thought the big stuff in this arc with Cassian, great stuff.
Yeah,
like he gets home and like he's fine, like he's ready. Like that was my final mission. Let's go.
Yep.
She pretty much saw that he had a bigger purpose and left, and that has to be hard to do. You love someone because they got a bigger purpose,
and you'll hold them back if you don't. Yeah, that's tough. That is a tough decision to make.
And yeah, I think that makes sense. And considering Rogue One, it even makes sense.
Yep,
because we know what happens in Rogue One,
right?
And I could tell, in Rogue One, and this could basically be retconning it, but he's like a lot more, I feel, hardened in Rogue One.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I didn't mind that at all. Okay. Yeah, and then episode 9.
Yeah, let's talk about 9.
Again, I was pleasantly surprised with it. I didn't think like there could be another episode that lives up.
Yeah.
So my lord, I like this just as much.
Yep, I agree.
Literally just as much.
It was like just as tense in some scenes, but like there's not a massacre happening. Like, but you still feel like on the edge of your seat. Yeah. I thought Mon Mothma's speech was perfect. I really enjoyed it. And like we saw a version of that speech in Rebels, which I think is the one she does on the ship after. But like her whole speech about like the loss of truth and like how that's the triumph of evil or whatever she says, just fits so perfectly with what we've been seeing with the like, you know, the people with the cameras spreading propaganda and just the Empire controlling everything. Yeah, that speech was so good.
Are we going to see Rebels? Why did they show up, man?
Well,
why didn't we get to see that side?
Yeah, I mean, did we see it in Rebels? I know. Right after that, she goes onto a ship and then goes on the Ghost with Hera. I can't remember. I think we did see some of that in Rebels.
We see them taking her to Yavin.
Yeah. So there's just like a tiny bit where we saw the speech on the hologram, I think. So we've seen pretty much all of it in little pieces, but it would have been cool to see in live action. That's true.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess this isn't that kind of show.
Yeah.
I don't want all the Easter eggs and cameos.
Yep.
But it's kind of cool because like people like us, we know that's why obviously Andor or Cassian didn't take her to Yavin. We know why. What I liked about episode 9 is again, like you said, just as intense in a different way. It felt almost like a spy action movie again.
Kinda. Yeah. With like, someone's working for the Empire and trying to convince like Cassian trying to convince Mon that he was the one to go with, and
it's like a Mission Impossible movie.
and I thought that escape
Cassian's
was
Tom Cruise.
He could pull it off. I like that escape because you could really tell that Mon was like being freaked out every time Cassian had to kill someone, and like she was shocked at seeing that for the first time, like up close.
And I loved when he said the title of the episode.
Is it
Welcome to the Rebellion?
Yep. I think he had an even better line than or in this episode after that, where after he's rescued her and they're in the apartment, she says, "I don't know how I can ever thank you," and he just says, "Make it worth it." And I thought that was the best line of that episode. The speech was good, but that was like, oh yes, make it worth it.
Yeah, that was good. And then, that's right. They're in his old apartment.
Yep.
PTSD. the bad arc. I'm just kidding. I'm making it sound like I hated. I know. I'm making. The funny thing is, I gave it still above average. I'm just overplaying it.
What, you want to go back and watch The Acolyte or what?
Oh god. I know people are gonna watch this like, why do you hate on so much? I promise I liked it, guys. I just I'm overdoing it on purpose. Okay. Yes, that was a great line. That was a great escape. It was intense. I loved Mon's speech. I love the connectivity, to her finally getting to Yavin. Episode 8 felt like the turning point for the Empire. Episode 9 felt like the turning point for the Rebels.
Yeah.
Rebellion.
Yep. It almost felt like that was going to be the end of the show. Like it almost could be. And that could have been a finale. Satisfied. Yeah. I'm don't get me wrong. I'm super excited that there's still 3 more episodes, but like that could have been a good ending. I don't know.
What are they going to do?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know like deep into the lore. I'm sure people figure out what this next arc is going to be, but for an average show like me or you, what are they going to, what's the next arc?
Yeah, I'm actually not sure.
I mean, you're right. That could have been a finale. I mean, it has to connect into
Rogue One.
Into Rogue One, and I'm sure they'll.
So it might be about like finding out about Jin's father or something, because they do know about that.
K-Y-S-O. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll probably see more of him. That's great. Love that.
But it's gonna be hard to top this, man.
I know. I feel like they can, but we'll see.
When I say this arc is this arc might be the best. I'm trying not to like sound like a little girl that's in love, but man, this may be the best Star Wars since freaking the original freaking trilogy. I'm not even kidding you.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, as far as like intensity and the way it's filmed and the grittiness of it, and
just the quality of everything. Like,
like
maybe I'm
it's
gushing
different.
a little too much about it, but I agree.
I think we probably are, but like it's just like we've always said, there's two different sides of Star Wars. There's the fantasy side, like Mandalorian, Jedis, and there's this side. And we've had a lot of great fantasy side, in Mandalorian. We've had, spoiler alert if you haven't seen a 5-year-old show, Luke show up and Ahsoka and all this. But we haven't had this gritty war-like Star Wars in forever. I guess Rogue One, like you said.
Yeah.
And I love it.
They do it so well.
They do. Like, it's amazing. And I wish we had more of it, to be honest.
Yep.
And I'm the kind of fan where I know a lot of fans are like, oh, I'm so sick of Jedi stuff. It's not just lightsabers. I freaking love lightsabers.
I love that too.
Give me lightsabers any day of the freaking week. But that being said, with lightsabers, I also want this gritty realness too.
Yeah. I just like make a good show. Make a good show.
Yes.
Like in the Star Wars universe, I will enjoy it if it's a good show. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So like, what about Acolyte?
I mean, it had lightsabers.
It did. It's about all I had.
Yep. The lightsabers were decent, but like the lightsaber fights were good, but that's about all it had. Yep.
But yeah, I loved it.
Yep.
So season 2 so far started off slow for me, but man, did that last arc end with a banger.
Yes, it did. And I'm very excited. And I'm also sad that it's going to be ending next week or this week.
Yep. Shoot, tomorrow.
Yep. Tomorrow. Oh, okay.
I mean, I probably won't watch it till Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because you're lucky you get it at 6.
Yep. I might be able to watch one of them tomorrow.
I don't get till 9, and I could stay up, but I'm an old man.
Yeah, and you have kids. That makes it harder.
That's the biggest thing, man. But yeah, hey, it might end, but then you can rewatch Rogue One. That's what I'm gonna do. That's true.
Yep.
And I'm curious how, after watching Andor, I wonder if I'm gonna like Rogue One more or less because of how good Andor is.
Ooh, that's an interesting thought. Yeah, I really like
Rogue One. Like more.
I think
because it fleshes out stuff.
Yeah, I think that's my guess, but you never know.
Maybe if we have time, we can talk about that next episode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Rogue One. But that's pretty much all I have on this.
Yeah. All right. Sorry to bring it down, but let's talk about The Last of Us Season 2. Let me see. Okay, turn that off.
The end.
The end. So we've watched episode 3 and 4 of The Last of Us Season 2. So we'll give our thoughts without spoilers and give a spoiler warning. But Alex, I know you're super excited to talk about this, so why don't you give us your scores?
My lord. I didn't think it could be worse in the game, but it is. Episode 3, I mean, it's all right.
Yeah.
I would give episode 3 a 5, an average. And the only reason I'm giving it an average is because, again, the production's still there. The acting is somewhat good. For most characters, the acting is good. But I think I don't like what they're doing with Tommy. I don't like what they're doing with the aftermath of the previous episode. Just the way it's handled, I didn't feel the impact from the characters, specifically Ellie.
Yeah.
Like I would want to. And then episode 4, oh god, Episode 4, I'd give a 3 or 4 out of 10. I'm debating. I'm going to give it a 4 just because the action's pretty decent. There were some scenes I liked. But my God, I seriously did not think it could be worse in the game. But Caleb, it is worse in the game.
Yeah, they're doing some weird things.
Episode 4 felt like a teen movie with 2 girls going on a road trip when this is supposed to be like a revenge dark story.
Yep.
And don't get me started with some of the towards the end, the reactions and or I'll give it a 4 out of 10 because the action was decent and there's some scenes I liked. But I honestly like, and I'm not, I know people are like, oh, you guys are just video game or Last of Us fans are never happy. No, it's just not good. 4 out of 10. Well, you can go. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, we have the same scores basically. Episode 3, I gave a 5. Episode 4, I gave a 4. I've just not really been feeling it these last 2 weeks. They made some interesting choices that kind of made it feel like it's not as urgent as it should be, the whole situation. And I literally have in my notes that Ellie seems to be on less of a revenge arc and more of a vacation to Seattle. So I kind of feel you there.
Literally. I was thinking that the whole episode, man.
Yeah. Yeah, like where's the urgency? This should be like, yeah, I don't know. I think the highlight of these 2 episodes have been Dina. I feel like she's hard carrying the show. I feel like the actress is doing a really good job. So much so that this almost doesn't feel like a show about Ellie. This feels like a show about Dina. So
I mean, kind of, yeah.
So I don't know. I haven't been feeling it. They still could turn it around and make it better. And
could they, Caleb? Or are you just trying to hold out hope and see
possibly they could. I'm not saying they will, because the way it's going, I don't feel like they're handling Ellie correctly. And
how many episodes are left? Like 3, something like that. 2.
I think so. I don't know. Actually, I'll find that out. But yeah, I
agree. Dina.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dina has been great. The actress has been great. She's been awesome. I love her as Dina. All the side characters I don't mind. Again, I don't like what they're doing to Tommy, which we can talk about in spoilers.
Yeah.
And you've recently played the game, so you will have more of a refreshed memory.
Yep. So there's 7 episodes, so we have 3 left after this.
3. See, that's my other issue, dude. Like, I don't know. Doesn't this... We only have 3 episodes left, and I feel like...
We just got started.
Besides episode... Yeah, like, I feel like besides episode 2, it just feels rushed. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's the same problem I had with the game, but worse.
Yeah. Yeah. And it shouldn't feel like that when they're splitting the game over 2 seasons. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Okay, can we get into spoilers?
Yeah, let's get into spoilers. So, spoiler alert for The Last of Us, Season 2, Episodes 3 and 4. I have it up on the screen, so we're good to go.
I almost, like you said the other week, I almost wish you didn't play the game because I would be very curious what your reaction would have been.
Yeah.
Compared to mine.
I kind of feel
like your buddy. Did you say you had a friend that watches it?
Oh, yeah, I haven't messaged him.
Hasn't played the game?
He might not have watched it yet. I'll text him after this and get his opinions on these 3 episodes. Yeah, see how he's feeling.
Because in the context, we know the context of the game, right? It's like, but even now, like Ellie just watched like Joel die.
Yeah.
And I know it was like 3 months later or whatever, but come on now.
I have
like the whole point of the game is revenge.
Yeah.
And then didn't you say I'm not doing this for revenge? I know she's probably just saying that to get out.
Yeah.
Or to have him go for her, but still, I don't know.
Yeah, she did, but I do think with the scene with the therapist, she's kind of like modeling it all up. But I don't really like that. I want to see her like be pissed off and out for revenge. That's like the whole point of the story, is that this revenge and how it affects everything. Yeah, I don't know. So the 3-month time jump was weird. Like that to me totally takes out all the urgency. That was the thing that was changed that made it feel
why did they do that?
I don't know. And like it changes like who it changes the whole reason they leave. Like, so basically Dina was just waiting to tell her till she was healthy, instead of like in the game, I won't say everything, but
Tommy?
like, yeah, there's like an urgency. Like, we have to get there, that like, we need to, I don't know if I want to spoil the game or not, but, or future stuff in the show.
Yeah. Well, shoot. I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah, but like they are definitely doing stuff different with Tommy. I totally forget the Tommy scene in episode 3. So what happened in that again? I forget.
Well, I just don't like with Tommy, we just don't ever see like a reaction from him, and he's kind of just sitting there. Like, his arc in this is more so like to fix the town.
Yeah.
You know, like everything with Tommy is like just, it's done. You know, Joel wouldn't have left if you knew you're dead. I'm going to stay here, rebuild the town. I don't know. I just don't feel that I felt like in the video game Tommy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, like, I think the 3-month thing kind of ups that even.
That goes hand in hand. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it adds the other issue that they had to have Dina get back with Jesse so that she could be pregnant at the right time. And like, it's like they created these issues, and now we're bringing up, they have to do other things to fix it. I don't know.
Yeah. So like in episode 3, I don't know. I guess I didn't dislike it as much as episode 4 because it almost felt like a setup episode.
Mm-hmm.
And, I guess it just didn't piss me off as much. I guess it just boils down to that.
Yeah.
But episode 4 is really the episode where, well, episode 3 also, I still don't like I've come to the conclusion, and people have been disgustingly rude about Bella Ramsey.
Yep.
I've seen so much crap that's disgusting. But she's not the right role for this, man. She's not. It's the writing, and it's just her. And it's not that she's a bad actress. I just don't think she fits this role. Like season 2 Ellie, I should say.
Yeah, I could see that. I definitely think the writing could help her out a little bit, but yeah, it's still.
It could, but I still don't see that Ellie in her.
Yeah.
Granted, she's not getting a chance to prove me wrong with the writing, you know.
Right.
But I don't think she was the right choice. Season 1, she was fine.
Yeah, I agree.
But I just don't see it in season 2. And you're right, half of it's the writing. But I still do think, I do think it's her that she's probably not fit. Personally.
Yeah, there probably could have been better casts for sure. Especially for season 2.
Yeah. So episode 4.
Let me start with one spot in these 2 episodes that I thought was interesting, and an interesting change, and brought more light to a certain character.
Josh Peck getting blown up.
That was funny. Actually, yeah, kind of. I like. I think Isaac is a really interesting character, and I'm kind of glad that we're seeing more of him. So yes, Josh Peck being blown up is my highlight.
Oh yes, that was one of the highlights of his Isaac scenes. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I agree.
And the torture scene in episode 4 was brutal. Mm-hmm. And he's a good actor. I like that actor, and so that's a good change. Who's that rookie he saves? Is he in the game?
It
might be, I don't know, maybe it's Manny or it might be one of the other people I never remember the name of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I couldn't remember if he was like an important role in the game or not.
Yeah, it might be one of like Abby's friends.
But yes, so his scenes and the scene where they're in the subway. Yeah, this is the only reason I didn't give it a 3. It upped it to 4, closer to average. That's the only reason.
Yeah,
those are the positives. Do you have any other positives? Dina, I guess, is great. That's a positive.
I'm gonna be a dad line. No. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, like even though I don't enjoy some of these episodes, like I never really get a reaction. I kind of just sit there. But that line gave me real action. I actually laughed, and Yeah, usually like when I don't like things, I just never have reaction. I'm just like, oh, okay, that's kind of boring. But that's it. I'm like, what?
Yeah, what was that line? Oh,
That whole last scene was a freaking mess.
yeah.
You're bitten. I'm gonna kill you. No, I'm not. I'm pregnant. Let's bang. I'm a dad. Like, oh my lord!
You missed one spot. Oh, I'm bitten. I'm gonna change. No, I'm gonna go over there and sleep. It'll be fine.
There. Just watch it while I sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm pregnant. You are. Oh yeah. Let's do it. There you go. Let's do it. Oh,
yeah, that was a weird scene.
Like emotional whiplash over here. Jesus Christ.
No kidding.
Like, boom, boom, boom. Went from like and I rewatched because I wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy. I rewatched like how the game did it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not just of her finding out like the spores, but like her finding out
she's
about pregnancy.
Yeah.
So much better in the game. It's so much more mature, so much more realistic. Like Ellie's pretty much like, oh, this isn't going to help us. What are we going to do now?
And she's
it's
worried
not like
about
I'm gonna be a dad.
Yeah, she finds out that Dina knew about this, and it's like, well, we could have turned back. You're having a baby. Like that's a real reaction. That
not like, oh, let's do it. I'm gonna be a dad. Like this is not Ellie, dude. And again, that part of it is not Bella Ramsey's fault. Like this isn't Ellie. And even the scene, and I still can't believe this scene you can miss in the game where her playing guitar.
Oh yeah.
You did that. You did that scene in the game, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't like
Great scene
like
in
you
the
can
game.
Scene.
I did not know that. That's kind of sad.
Yeah, it's not like a mandatory scene, but I saw it in the game. But even in there, like you could see the emotion with Ellie playing that guitar and like with Joel, the sadness of Joel. And in the show, while I liked, the way Dina's reaction stuff, I didn't get that sense of like sadness when she was playing.
Yeah, that scene was much more like carried by Dina having the reaction than anything Ellie did. Yeah.
Yes, and that to me that defeated the whole purpose of that scene.
Yep.
Like, so while I liked the scene, it still was done better in the game.
I agree.
What are we missing? The other thing that annoyed me too is I don't know why, this is just nitpicking now, but when they find a tank and she makes a loud noise and they're just standing there in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Carelessly, like you're in a big. Okay,
with that,
like a road trip movie.
I know, and it makes Ellie seem like. So in the game, Ellie makes rash decisions because she's like really mad, wants revenge. But in this, it's like
rage, pretty much.
It's like, in this, it's like, well, Dina has to take care of her and tell her what to do. Like, it just doesn't seem. Yep. I mean, this is someone who's grown up in the apocalypse. She's fought zombies. She knows she should know what she's doing, and it just feels like she's just stumbling around, getting into trouble, and Dina has to like point her in the right direction.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
This isn't Ellie. It's not Ellie. This is not. I honestly thought it couldn't be worse in the game, Caleb, but it is.
Yeah, I think my problem is like I didn't hate these parts of the game. I liked these parts of the game. Like the Ellie parts were interesting. The Abby parts
were the game as a whole, not this specific scene.
Yeah. But like they're screwing up the parts that I thought were good about the game. Like
the only parts we liked about the game.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm worried when they get later on the parts that I didn't like.
I know, that's right. These aren't even the parts. These aren't even the parts you didn't like, and it's making you not like it.
Yeah, not a great start.
It's just that's why I'm very curious what your buddy says, like someone who hasn't played games. Because to me, even if I didn't play the games, this is like it's insane how Ellie's acting.
Yeah,
in an apocalypse.
It doesn't make sense.
Looks like a freaking Disney Channel original movie road trip.
Yep.
This doesn't look like freaking revenge dark story. It makes you wonder how they're going to do the end of the game.
I know.
Which we're obviously not going to get this season.
Yep.
Because it's like you said, depressing. I just don't know how
depressing.
Towards the end of this game, especially how I can't see them doing like the serious, heavily dark themed ending or even I don't want to spoil the game. I'm trying to say without spoiling the game.
I think the episode that came out last night that we didn't get a chance to watch, I think this will really show if they're gonna be able to, like, this is kind of a turning point where they're gonna have to do it right, or else stuff's gonna start falling apart, I feel like. So we'll see.
Caleb, it's already falling apart.
Yes, it's not good. It's not totally falling apart.
I like your thinking positive. I like it.
But I don't know. Like it could, some of the parts coming up could be okay. Will it be? From what we've seen, probably not, but there's a possibility. I don't know.
It's insane to me because I feel like this season, and I think I talked to you about this before the show came out. If they would have like done the show right, I felt like it could have been better than the game.
Yeah,
I really do. If they would have like rearranged some of the story elements and took time to like delve into the years that passed and the side characters and even Abby for that matter, like this could have been so much better. But it just feels so. To me, it feels. I mean, I know you can't compare it to the game because when you're playing the game, it's hours and hours and hours.
Sure, yeah.
But this still feels rushed, and like the fact that Joel died, 2 episodes ago?
Yeah, 2 episodes ago.
And I feel like nothing, excluding I guess the last night's episode, has happened besides that this whole season.
Yeah.
Besides that battle and Joel dying, like what else is important or memorable has happened? Like, it's insane.
Nothing. Yeah.
Whereas in season 1, and I told you this before you even watched it, I thought season 1 was probably one of the best video game adaptations ever.
Yeah, it was really good.
Like, it was amazing. I loved it. Like 10 out of 10 for me, but I should have known. Yeah. I tried holding out hope. I tried, Caleb. I was hoping. I hope
you did
course correct and fix. And even episode 1 of this season, I didn't mind. And then it just, where it fell apart in the game is where it falls apart.
Yeah.
You can hold out hope, but I know. I mean, I'm still going to watch it. We're going to talk about it. I will say I'm not bored. I mean, I kind of like being able to hate watch.
And having this to talk about it helps too, like to complain about it. Yeah.
It does. And like the thing is like I'm not purposely trying to hate watch. It's just they're making it easy.
Yeah.
it's let's be real. Like our 4 is I think this is a terrible season. It's terrible. I don't want to sound mean, and for people who like it, I'm happy you do, and I wish I could.
Yeah.
I'm jealous you do. Maybe I just need to shut my brain off and shut up and just watch the show. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, Caleb. Why don't I like it?
I don't know.
I want to like it. I love The Last of Us.
I know, and the first season was so good.
It was so good, and I want to like it, man. I really do. But without Pedro Pascal,
I know.
The thing is, maybe with the flashbacks, is that what you're saying? No, I was thinking that too. I'm like, where's the flashbacks? I want to see. Oh,
yeah.
I honestly think, the show is doing it terrible, but I still think it stems from the video game. I'm a firm believer that The Last of Us Part 2 is just a bad story, not a game. The game plays great, like you said.
Yep.
The whole point of The Last of Us is a man lost his daughter and is trying to find his way in an apocalypse and finds, him going through his journey with Ellie.
Yep.
What's out that core element? What is The Last of Us?
Just
it's Ellie's story, I guess.
Yeah, Ellie revenge story. Yep.
You can see in the comments, The Last of Us Part 2 is The Last of Us now. But like that was the core element, right? Like that
was the best part.
Yeah, like I get trying to change things up, but why can't you have more stories with Joel and Ellie? There's so much more you could have done.
Yep.
But anyway, this is getting away from the show now. We're just going to be a Last of Us Part 2 if we don't stop here.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's good. But we'll see episode 5, see how it goes.
I mean, we'll know how it goes. I'm glad you're holding out hope, Caleb. You could be the hopeful one for us.
Okay. It's not a lot of
hope.
I'm
telling you now. It can't be worse than last episode, right? I don't think it can be. show me some emotion, some maturity, darkness, something. So give me something. I might watch it tonight.
Yeah, actually, I think I might watch it tonight too. Yep.
Every time we talk about these things, I want to watch them.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Let's get into Guess the Game. So we're going to be guessing video games from these screenshots here. We'll have 6 of them to go through to see if we can get it. If we guess in the right series, the number will turn gold and Professor Oak will let us know that we were close. So, Alex, any guesses on this one?
Is that like a shadow of like a dragon or something?
Oh, I didn't even see that. I thought it was just like terrain, like.
Or maybe it is. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
But I see what you're seeing. I definitely see what you're seeing. I didn't
hear what I'm seeing.
There's his head.
I mean, if it's just terrain.
This looks like maybe like a tycoon game, like a roller coaster tycoon, maybe. Or,
yeah, like the terrain and yeah, like Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 or something.
Yeah.
As long as I say that one's in, they just remade it.
Is that called something else, or maybe it's just both under Roller Coaster Tycoon?
I thought it was Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, but I guess
it's not coming up. Oh, here. No, that's Railroad Tycoon. Yeah, we'll do Roller Coaster Tycoon, see what the next one is. Oh, it's definitely... Is this Zoo Tycoon?
You're on the right track.
I think I played Zoo Tycoon.
DS2?
68%. Yeah, hey, nice.
Nice job.
I did play that. Oh, yeah, you could have dinosaurs like Jurassic Park. I remember that.
That's cool.
All right, let's see. Nice. Let me keep track of this. So
look at that. Starting off good.
Yeah.
You got that from grass. Good job.
I feel like those first ones are always hard, so I'm glad we got one.
Yeah. I know, it's just considering it was just from a screenshot of grass.
Yeah. All right, 740.
Got it.
This is
Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, honestly, it definitely looks like it could be Star Wars.
It looks like when they're on
Tatooine.
Tatooine.
Or maybe even Naboo. Yeah. Any particular
or it could even be
one.
Star Wars Battlefront.
Could be.
I would say the Skywalker saga.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that one. Ooh, it's not. It's like a.
Oh, is this like Civilization or something? Haven't we had that?
Yeah, but there's a lot of Civilization, so could be.
True.
Let's say 4. Platform PC. I feel like there's a medieval something. Or is it like no, what's the it looks like an RTS to me. Maybe it's an Age of Empires.
Oh, yeah, maybe, yeah.
3, I guess.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's not.
No.
Real-time tactics, turn-based strategy.
This looks like a. That looks like. I'm trying to think. What else? What other ones are there? In that genre, I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to remember. There's one that I can't remember the name of. Tactic.
All I know is Civilization. I think too.
Night.
It's like a World War one or something.
Let me just try Command and Conquer. No, because that's like modern warfare.
To have like some
King something. Kings of the Crusader Kings, maybe.
Crusader sounds right.
Nope. 2004. We guessed Civilization, right?
Yes.
Okay, yep. So it's not that.
I'm not sure, man.
Looks Roman. Maybe this is Rome Total War.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, Oh, it is.
Oh.
You were saying it all sarcastically.
I know. No, I had faith. I knew you were right. I knew 100% you were right.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, look at you, 2 for 2, man.
2 for 2.
What is that?
A person who's been killed, maybe?
Like a robot?
Or a robot? Yeah.
It's raining.
This is
that a puddle?
Counter-Strike, maybe?
Yep, 100%. Mm-hmm. I have 100% faith.
Ah, darn it. 66%.
Is that a car in the back? It was just like the crew or something.
Oh, maybe. I was thinking maybe it's Hitman. Although 66%, I don't know if a Hitman.
I just see the car in the background. So
yeah, let's do Hitman Absolution. It is not. It's guns. Oh, what's that heist one? Payday? Would this be Payday?
Oh,
Payday the heist?
Could be. I've never played those.
Played a little bit. Let's see. Oh, it is a Payday.
Oh, you're right.
Payday 2? Please? Payday 3, please. Or is there a different Payday? Has to be Payday 3. Come on.
Yep,
there
100%.
we go.
Yeah. Look at you. 3 for 3.
3 for 3.
Dang, this one's all you.
Let's keep it going. Okay, this is
Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Have we had that one yet?
I could see it. I
just saw the art style and I see wood place.
The art style, yeah, I could. Yeah, let's try it. Ooh, and there's water. Oh, that was a good guess.
Not rated. It's like
this is the raft. Or raft. I don't think it is, but you're like on a raft that you can build up. I don't know how much you can build it up. Like a shark's trying to destroy it. So let's see. Oh, no way.
Oh, dude, you got it.
Oh, my goodness.
Dude, 4 for 4, Caleb.
I haven't even played this game. I've just seen it. That's what I've seen. I didn't know you could build like full-on houses.
Jeez, dude. You need to go get some lotto numbers or something, man.
Okay.
4 for 4. I don't even need to be on this podcast anymore.
I'll take it from here, Alex.
I know. Shoot, solo podcast now. Man, what is this? I'm just going to ask you. What is this game?
Don't leave me.
You got this, man. You're 4 for 4.
This is Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Where is it? 3 Houses.
There it is.
Oh. Okay. This is interesting.
Oh.
Is this Kingdom Come Deliverance? The first one? This looks like the medieval kind of art kind of thing. I don't know, but let's see.
Maybe.
Oh. PC, mobile, Switch. I don't know if I've played this game or have seen this game.
Interesting. Mobile too. Ravensdale.
What was Ravensdale? Ravensdale. Puzzle.
Man, I don't know this either. What?
Let's look up puzzle.
Are those supposed to be like elements or something?
Ooh, elements.
Fire, earth.
Element is a good thing to search. Element Hunter, Element War. Let's do Element Hunters. 2017.
Dude,
this
I
guy
don't
is
recognize this at
dreaming
all.
about being able to climb stairs. That's kind of sad.
I don't think I've ever seen this before.
Me neither. This is a Dr. Layton.
The heck is that?
No, Professor Layton. That's what it's called.
What is that?
Professor Layton. It's a point and click kind of game, I think.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, Jason Roberts. He's gonna mess up my streak.
Just type in Jason.
Nope. This kind of looks maybe like a storybook. Storybook Workshop.
Storybook Workshop. That sounds right.
What is this? Gorogoa? Gorogoa? Never heard of it.
I've never heard of it. Never seen anything about it.
If you played this, let us know in the comments and let us know if it's any good.
Yeah. The art style looks interesting.
Yeah. And I love puzzle games. I've been playing the crap out of Blueprints, dude. Blueprints is so good.
Oh, yeah. I've started that.
Oh, it's such a good game.
Yeah. I heard about that. I listened to another podcast and they were talking about that.
Yeah. I'm loving it.
I heard it's good.
Yep. Frontenhausen. Gothenburg.
This is Civilization.
Could be. This looks like, I think Gothenburg is in Germany, so maybe it's a World War II thing. But I'm good. We could throw out a Civilization and see. Ooh. 91%. You know what? I think this might be
like a World of Empires.
A what?
Pirates versus Ninjas Dodgeball?
Yeah, that's what this is.
That sounds awesome.
I played a game that had something like this. Sid Meier's Pirates, I think. It might not be this. But let's see. No.
Oh.
Original platform PC suffered a heart attack after being utterly destroyed in a literalist debate.
Isn't there a game called like World of Empire or something?
Let me look up Empire. Total War Empire, maybe. That sounds familiar.
It does sound familiar.
Strategy RPG.
Man.
This is not chivalry. Is this another Total War? No, because it would have given us
Three Kingdoms.
No, we did Total War Empire. Chivalry.
I got just guess
Knights of the Round. 2020 release date. Air.
This is just PC, right?
PC, yes.
I don't think I know this.
Yeah. King's Field 2. Knight. Paradox Development Studio. Paradox Soul. I don't think that's it. Kingdom.
Kingdom Come. Kingdom Hearts 3. That's what it is.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Is that all it pops up with Kingdom?
Yeah.
You'd think there'd be more games that pop up with Kingdom.
Yeah. Ruler.
Dude, I don't know.
I like the Empire. Yes. Warriors of the Lost Empire. Crusader Kings. I've heard of it.
Oh, I've heard of Crusader
Why
Kings.
Why didn't it come up when I typed in King? Dang it.
Yeah,
I looked at
seriously.
King.
Well, didn't like 200 something pop up? Or?
Yeah, I guess so. That's fair. This is Tekken.
That's a good first guess. Yeah,
Tekken 2.
Like a fighting stance.
Oh, it is a Tekken. Which one? Tekken 3, maybe. No, arcade. I don't think it's the first one. Do you? Maybe.
I mean, how many more Tekken's games are there?
A lot. Tekken 4. Oh my goodness. Tekken 5. Wait, it could be like Tekken Tag Tournament, Tekken Hybrid. Oh my goodness. Tekken X Street Fighter?
Street Fighter. Oh,
2004
Lord.
Tekken Tag Tournament, Tekken Dark Resurrection. What the heck?
Scroll down.
Tekken Advance.
Maybe. Yeah.
I feel like let's try 5 and then. Oh, thank goodness. We almost stopped at 5. I was like, I think 5 was a while ago. I'm very glad I got Tekken on that first guess because we did not have those chances if I didn't.
It's funny.
Okay. Back on track. That is really grainy.
That is very grainy.
This is Samurai Warriors.
I have faith. Faith in you.
89%.
Oh, Lord.
Why is this so grainy? I can't even see what's going on here.
Lord, I don't know. Is this a Ninja Gaiden game?
That's a good guess, too. I was also thinking that. Well, it's probably not the first one. 2. Platform Xbox.
Oh, like the original Xbox.
Yeah.
Why does that look familiar?
Is this like is this a Tales game? Tales of which one did we have? Maybe it's Tales of Zestiria? I don't know.
Was that on the original Xbox?
I thought one of them was, but it might not have only been on it. Spirit Font. Action RPG. This looked very JRPG, but I can't even tell what's going on here. Can you? Is that a person?
Nope, it looks familiar. I don't know why. What's that game called that I had? Is it? God, original Xbox. It does look familiar to me. I just can't pin.
Cameo?
You could no. What about? Is there like a Shenmue game on Xbox?
There was. I don't think it looked like this, and Shenmue doesn't have like.
No.
Well.
No, that's true. Oh yeah. I think you're right.
I see what you're saying though. It does kind of look like this and this kind of looks like Shenmue for sure.
Yeah.
This though, Xbox.
I'm trying to think too.
I'm gonna do this and see. 2005. That looks like Kratos. What the heck?
Maybe
is there a Wukong game? It wasn't.
God, I'm trying to think, man. I feel like we should get this. Maybe
Kung Fu Chaos.
Oh, Kung Fu Chaos is
Kung
amazing.
Fu Fight. Yeah, let's do it. See what the next one is.
BioWare.
Wait a minute. What BioWare game is this? This isn't Dragon Age, is it? No. I want to play this game. It looks like Knights of the Old Republic.
I don't know why I can't pinpoint this game, but it looks so familiar. BioWare.
Oh, they did something before. You know what? I vaguely remember this game. Did we? No way, right? Is it this? I think it's this, and I think we saw this when we were looking up Empire before.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
Empire.
That sounds familiar. I can see the cover art right now. I think this is it.
Okay, let's see. Oh yes, that's so funny that we looked up Empire. I almost chose it earlier.
I know. I saw you, dude.
That always happens.
I was actually going to tell you to pick that one, but then you picked the one below. Hey, that's crazy.
That's so funny. I didn't realize how much this looked like Knights of the Republic. It makes sense that because it's a BioWare game, but I kind of want to play this now.
Yeah, I just looked up the cover right now, and that's exactly what I was picturing. Yep, I remember that.
Is it the red? Let me see.
Yeah, it's like, well, the words in red, and it has the girl on front.
Yep, I remember this cover. I never had it, though. Interesting.
I think I did have it, like my dad had it, but I never played it.
Okay. All right, we got 2 more, and then we're out of here. Oh, sheesh.
This is Oregon Trail.
Yeah. I don't blame you for guessing.
I don't know if we've had that.
Score too old for Metacritic.
This is
Silent Hill.
That looks like some creepy little game.
Yeah. Gosh.
What in the world?
They're dancing in a ballroom. Or is this
maybe it's like some haunted house or something?
I wonder if it's spy versus spy. This looks like something where you'd be a spy mingling with people and have to catch other spies or something.
Or it looks like a creepy ghost house.
Oh, it's horror. Yeah, you're right. Horror survival. Horror survival DOS game.
Haunted
house.
Haunted ground. Yeah.
1992.
Or maybe is this like a Sherlock Holmes game?
Could be.
With demons.
Sherlock Holmes versus Jack.
Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. Dude,
the Devil's Daughter. Oh wait,
or the mystery of the
Osborne House.
Yes. Oh, I wish it was that so bad.
Why does he walk like that?
Creepy. Oh,
that was a good guess.
Man, I'm all out. I don't got another guess, man. That was my all or nothing.
House something.
House
Conjuring House.
There, sure.
Alone in the Dark.
What? So is that like was there a remake of this game?
Yeah, because this is the one I remember. Hold on. This one.
Yeah, that's the one I remember too.
I don't know if it's a remake.
I never knew.
This is the DOS
has to
one,
be,
a
right?
virtual adventure game inspired by the work of H.P. Lovecraft. Interesting.
I want to play the new one.
Yeah, not this one. Okay, let's get this one right, and we'll be done.
Yeah. Why not that one, Caleb?
Because we have one more to do. This is NBA Street Home Court. I don't even know if that's a basketball thing.
Yeah, try it.
This does not give me anything more.
Is NBA Jam.
Sure.
God, I don't know.
Oh, GameCube.
This is Mario Olympics.
They have that on GameCube? Olympics?
Or was it Mario and Sonic or something? I swear there was one on GameCube.
There was Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games?
Sure.
I thought that was after, but okay, so this is Mario Strikers. Super Mario Strikers?
I think so. No.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Woohoo! Yahoo!
Oh, he definitely would have gotten it there.
Oh yeah. Yes, we just mistook those paintings on the field as basketball.
Yeah, this looks more like a street, like pavement, not.
Yeah.
I guess it could be in this game. All right. Let's see. We missed like 3, I think. So we got the first one. We missed Gorogoa.
You missed 3. You got.
We missed Crusader Kings. And we missed Alone in the Dark. Okay, I'll take it. I've never played any of those.
Not all of them. Yeah, Gorogoa. Oh, did I lose you here?
Yeah, I think I lost you
lagging
a little bit. Yeah. Can you hear me? Hello.
I can hear you now.
Okay.
You're lagging. Oh, yeah. The CenturyLink internet.
No, I got Cox. Which is still not great. But
who named your cable company that?
Don't clip that out of context. Oh wait, I edit this, so I'm not worried about that.
I'm just kidding. He's just doing a funny edit. I got Cox. Oh man.
All right. Well, we've been going for over 2 hours. So anything else you want to bring up real quick, or are we good?
We're good. We could talk about Oblivion. I've also been playing Doom Eternal. We could talk about all that stuff next week.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, then thanks everyone for joining us, and we will talk to you again next week.